Sean Penn and Robin Wright's son has pleaded no contest to a misdemeanor after he was arrested for possessing marijuana and mushrooms. Hopper Penn, 24, and his girlfriend Yuma Von Whitcamp, 26, were arrested during a traffic stop on April 4 on Interstate 80 in Nebraska. The couple were initially pulled over because they failed to signal. The car was then searched after officers at the scene suspected drug activity. Authorities discovered 14 grams of marijuana, 4 amphetamine pills, and 3 grams of psychedelic mushrooms, according to the Nebraska State Patrol. Hopper was arrested for the mushrooms and less than an ounce of marijuana, while Whitcamp, who is also an actor, was booked for the amphetamines and mushrooms. Whitcamp was behind the wheel at the time of the arrest, according to police. Hopper and Whitcamp were initially charged with felony drug possession. They have both pleaded no contest to a misdemeanor charge of attempt of a felony and were ordered to pay a $1,000 fine. A no contest plea allows a defendant to not admit guilt but acknowledge that there is enough evidence for a conviction. Hopper has been candid about his past drug struggles, even revealing that he would have taken his life if it wasn't for Penn. Last year, Hopper told the Evening Standard that he fell into drugs, including crystal meth, after Penn and Wright divorced in 2010 following 14 years of marriage. 2 years after the divorce, Hopper and Wright moved back to Los Angeles so he could be closer to his father and she could get more work in Hollywood. But just 1 month after the move, Hopper got into a brutal skateboarding accident that required brain surgery. No longer able to pursue his passion for the sport, Hopper fell into drugs and with a bad crowd instead. "I was doing a lot of stuff, but meth was the main one that brought me down," he said. "I went to rehab because I woke up in hospital and my dad said, 'Rehab? Or bus bench?' I was like, 'I'll take the bed.' Thank God I got out of that because that was the worst time in my life. Because it's not fun when it gets to a point where you just need it." Shortly afterwards, Hopper's father convinced him to take a small role in The Last Face, which Penn was directing. It was the beginning of Hopper's acting career, which has included appearing alongside Brad Pitt in War Machine as well as the film Puppy Love. Share this article. He will next appear in the film Between Worlds, which stars Nicolas Cage and recently wrapped production. Penn has spoken in the past about how his parenting style with Hopper and daughter Dylan, 26, are at odds with his ex-wife. The actor, who recently appeared on Marc Maron's WTF podcast, revealed he and Wright have very separate relationships with our kids at this point. "It's better that way because they are making their own decisions," he said. As it turned out, she and I did not share the same ethical views on parenting, including the continuing parenting of adult children. "We're always going to have conflicting ethics,"